Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Crafty Christian YouTube channel. My name is Esther, and today I'll be making some shrink plastic earrings based off 2 different episodes of Blue's Clues. And when I say Blue's Clues, I mean the first version, where the host is Steve. Keep in mind, I enjoyed both versions of Blue's Clues, the first with Steve and the second with Joe. I even enjoyed the Blues Room series. The puppet idea for Blues Room was super cute. Disclaimer, this video is not a tutorial, just a showcase of my process of making these earrings. In my past videos, I have been making items for family and friends. But for this project, this is for my own enjoyment. I have a strong nostalgia for Blues Clues, but more specifically, the specific episodes that I am basing these earrings off of. Does anyone remember the episodes Blue's Big Holiday and A Snowy Day? Blue's Big Holiday was an episode where Blue and Steve go visit different friends' houses to give presents to each animal friend, and the story went that each toy was chosen because of their unique differences to their fellow toys. One in particular really stood out to me, which was the green building block. So I chose to make the green building blocks as one of the earrings, and for the other earring, I chose to make a character I found super adorably drawn in the episode A Snowy Day. So I thought it would be nice to show him off. Apparently these 2 episodes were normally put together when viewing, which is what I experienced, as I watched both on a VHS tape that I actually still have. Unfortunately, our VHS player is broken, so I need to find a working player somewhere in a thrift store, most likely. Actually, if anyone knows where to find working VHS players in Canada, let me know. And with that said, let's get started on making these Blue's Clues themed earrings. So what you will need for this project is shrink plastic. Now the clear type is what I was using for this project, as that was the only one available when I saw it at my local Dollarama. Usually, when using the clear plastic, you use acrylic paint markers to draw out your design. So before drawing out the design, I wanted to have a template to go off of, so I cut out a square piece of paper and drew out my designs on each side of the paper. Now keep in mind that when shrink plastic goes in the oven, it will shrink the cutout piece 40 to 50% of the original size. So make sure you draw out your design bigger than you would want it. Now for the weather guy, the colors for his design were just black and peach color. So that is what I was using for this design. I apologize for the lighting in this video. I filmed this way too early in the morning. I didn't feel like recording again, so I hope you can bear with the shadows. Just a tip when using acrylic markers, as you're drawing out your design, make sure you draw out the details that go in front first, just like how I did That way, when you're coloring in the background, you can carefully go around each detail instead of having to color in the whole background first and then waiting longer because you have to wait for it to dry so that it doesn't bleed together, and then having to go and color in the details. It just makes things go faster. Just take it slow when you're going around the detail parts and you'll be okay. Now just carefully peel off the clear plastic and you're done. Just reuse the same 2 pieces of tape and move on to your next design. I had extra clear shrink plastic from another project, so I used the extra piece to draw out the green building block design, as it was smaller than the weather guy design. For the green building block design, I used the colors green, yellow, black, and purple. Now in the episode, his mouth is pink, but I didn't have a pink colored acrylic paint marker, so I used the closest color I had, which was red.
What the dog doing?
Another tip, if you make a mistake with the acrylic marker at this stage, because it's still wet, you'll be able to clear it up with either a baby wipe or just a napkin, but I would suggest a wipe. Does anyone else have nostalgia for Blue's Clues? Comment below what was your favorite episode.
What the dog doing? What the dog doing?
And you're all done with the drawing part. Give your designs at least 30 minutes to dry before cutting out the pieces. Once your pieces are dry, now it's time to cut them out. Some people like to leave a border when cutting out their designs. That's up to you, but for me, I don't really like that border, so I like to cut at the design. Now for the weather guy, it was a little bit different. Because he has 3 single strands of hair, I didn't really want them to be just individually by themselves because that just wouldn't look good to me. So I decided to give them a bit of space and cut out only a little bit of the clear plastic around them. And there we go, they're both cut out. Now since these are earrings, we're gonna have to make a hole in them by using a hole puncher. And there we go, just make one hole. For this one, I didn't really mean to get the mouth, so just be more careful when cutting out the hole and make sure the design isn't cut out. Now on to the baking part. So I put my oven at 325 degrees and baked these for 2 minutes. I suggest watching them as they shrink, it looks really cool. Just a tip when baking, when they come out, they will come out a little bit curvy. So definitely flatten them as they're out because it's more easier to flatten them down when they're just out of the oven hot. Now on to the varnishing. I used Mod Podge for this part. I just painted on the side where I drew on. That way the paint wouldn't scratch off. And once they're dry, it's time to make them into earrings. So for the earrings, I used 2 different sizes of chain, as you can see here. And of course, you'll need 2 pliers to get the chains opened. I used the bigger chain because it would fit around the shrink plastic design. And then I used the smaller chain so that I could make sure that the hook part of the earring faced the right way. I wanted the clear side of the design to show, so I made sure I pointed my hook toward the side that I painted with Mod Podge. Just do the same thing with your other piece and you'll be done. And there we go! My shrink plastic earrings are finished. Thanks for watching. Bye!